$1.5 trillion defense boom. These are my top 8 stock picks I have absorbing America's war budget. If you don't know, Trump just came out and Trump proposes massive increase in 2027 defense spending to 1.5 trillion, citing dangerous times. This is where I get the $1.5 trillion spending from. Now, he imposed it. This hasn't passed through yet. Predictions have been passing through really late 2026 or mid 2026, or it could possibly happen in 2027. But I want to be prepared and I want to be ready to go. So here are the 8 stocks I'm going to be looking at to get in the right position before everybody start running to them, before this even happened and the bill gets passed. These are the 8 stocks I will recommend everybody to look at to put capital in the right place, have the right risk management, and follow the right risk reward. Your capital gotta go where the money is going. 1.5 trillion. So your capital always needs to be inside of the place where the money's flowing to at. And we obviously where the money has a potential to follow at. So that's where your capital needs to go to. But you don't go run chasing all-time highs. You go and you buy in a discount and you sell in a premium. These are the top 8 companies: Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon Technologies, General Dynamics, Boeing, L3 Harris Technologies, Huntington Ingalls Industries, last but not least, Palantir Technologies. With that being said, now I'm finna get into the charts to show you where to get into these companies at discount prices if the opportunity presents itself. We'll start with Lockheed Martin. The news just came out today as of January 8th, 2026. People might be running to these stocks, running to them, but we don't do that because currently these stocks most likely 9 times out of 10 they're at premium prices. And premium prices, you don't want to buy in at premium prices. You want to buy in a discount, sell in a premium, just similar to how Warren Buffett says you want to buy fear and sell greed. Looking at this chart, I obviously see what the weekly is. We're tapping. I honestly see it going up here. If it wants to hold up here, I definitely see it going to this weekly sell sign and balance, buy sign and efficiency. This 556.43 off a weekly time frames perspective. Now let's move down to a daily chart. Looking at a daily chart on Lockheed Martin, we obviously what the dealing range is. I base my dealing range off a daily chart because that's what chart I base my entry off of, right? That's what this is the chart I look at my risk versus my reward. Okay, and that's the key point. Before all of this stuff happens, you look at the risk and reward. If you're risking more than what your reward is, that's a failure trade. I don't care how good the trade looks. If you don't got your risk management right, that's terrible. We see this is the recent swing low that I got took, and this we created this swing low right under it. We see what this is the recent swing high that I got took all the way over here, and we see we created this swing high. So from this recent swing low, this swing low right here that I got took, and this is the last swing high that I got took up here, and we created this one, we created this high after, and then we created this low right here. This makes this the dealing range. This makes me be like, we are in a premium because above the equilibrium, which is the 0.5 level right here, we are at, if we're above it, we are at a premium. And I want to sell right here. I want to sell this. So as I said, I'm looking to buy it now. If it comes under this equilibrium, we tap into prices like that 476, that 462, that 455. I would look for an opportunity for an entry to get inside of this company like Lockheed Martin. But right now, it is not a price I like. Why? Because it is in a premium. Moving on to this next company. Looking at Northrop Grumman Corporation. This is obviously bullish. Yes, this is bullish, right? Looking at weekly time frames perspective, this company is ultimately bullish. We definitely got these huge moves up based off the news that came out today. This is why I don't chase news. Some people probably bought when the news dropped and they was like, oh, I'm gonna get into this company just because of what Trump just said. No, because look, if you would have bought all the way up there when the news came out, you would have got sold on. Now you're ready your position. But what I say I do like about this company right here is we have these relative equal lows. I definitely want to see these relative equal lows get taken out. And if we come down, take out these relative equal lows, what would that make it? That would make it be all the way in a discount. What do I want to do? I want to look for my opportunity to get in long, go get in calls when the market is in discount prices. Now, this is an all-time high. You might be like, this is the daily chart. Why is this up here not the all-time high? Because we move to the 4 hour, we have to consider pre-market price action, right? So with pre-market price action, we created this high during pre-market, and we you see how we didn't show it on the daily chart. So I have to move down to a 4 hour, and yeah, this is the dealing range that we're in. We currently had that huge move up based off of the news. So yeah, man, I'm definitely like where it's at currently right now. I want to see it come down and take out these relative equal lows, then see if it has an opportunity for the move higher. Moving on to the next company. This company is RTX Corporation. You see this chart now, this, and you see the earnings down here. Now, this is a good chart and good defensive stock. You see how we held this weekly buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Now, this is definitely good right here. I like how bullish this company is, but I'm not going long in it. Why? Because it's at all-time highs. I don't care what the news is saying, what your favorite influencer is saying. I don't care who's saying what about stocks. I never get in at all-time highs. Ever, ever, ever. I don't care. It could keep going up without me. I only buy and to go long and get into calls at a discount. This company is currently in a huge, huge premium. It just got done in the all-time highs. That means I'm gonna chill back and I'm gonna lay back and I'm gonna wait for it to retrace. Wait for it to retrace to where? Perfect. I'm waiting for it to come down into this weekly busy right here, this weekly buy sign and balance, sell sign efficiency. You obviously see that we have a volume imbalance right here. I want to definitely see it come down to this 179. And if it comes down to that 179, what will it also be in? It will be in a discount. Moving on to a daily chart. See, we just got done hitting all-time highs today based off that news that happened. Look, if you were to buy all-time highs, you will already be down. So do not chase. Do not, whatever you do not chase these companies because they will leave you and take all their capital from you. So based off a risk reward perspective, you don't want to chase all-time highs because you'll be risking way more than what your reward would be. Looking at this company, I like it based off of the gains and the what's going on in the economic right perspective about it. But I always see like it's above this 180, 1.72. I want to see it come below it. And just because it come below it doesn't mean I'm going to get in it. It means I'm going to look for opportunities to get into an entry. Maybe want to come in down and take out this swing low right here, or even this swing low of 166, or this swing low. So I'm just looking at it to take out a low inside of a discount in a dealing range off the daily chart. Yeah, that's what I have going for RTX. Ultimately, yes, it is bullish. Moving down to the other company, General Dynamics Corporation. General Dynamics Corporation just came up back up from all-time highs too. I like is coming down into discount prices. I definitely do like that. Looking at a weekly chart on it is definitely in a premium. Now, it is bullish. That's what I want to see. My first thing I like to look at is it bullish on the weekly chart? We got it's bullish on the weekly chart. Now I'm gonna move down to the daily where I would like to take an entry off of typically, right? Now I look at the daily. What is the dealing range in? You see how this is the recent swing high that I got took out? We're gonna go up here. So this swing high is the high of the dealing range, and this swing low was the last swing low that I got taken out. So this is the low of the dealing range. Now the dealing range is currently right. So now we got the dealing range. We see where price closed at for today. We closed at that 351.44, right? For the daily chart, with daily chart closure. Now I want to see what happens when it comes below this equilibrium, and that price is 350.48. Want to see what it does within here, within this volume imbalance ultimately. And yeah, man, since the weekly chart is bullish, I'm definitely would like to see bullish movement on this company. Now, why is this 368.70 368.87 this week high and this not right? Because we also have to move and see what pre-market price action did. So I slide down to a 4 hour chart and I see this is the swing high to make it official for all-time highs. We see we created it during the pre-market, so it's not going to show it on the daily chart, right? I want to see it come down to this volume imbalance. Look for opportunities to get in on an entry at this volume imbalance right here. And we created this swing low. So I want to see what price does in here. Look for an entry if it comes down to here. If not, then it is what it is. Just because price comes down to like where you think it's going to go up from, if you don't see no opportunity to get in for a entry, I am not going to touch it because that's you need confirmation. Like, yes, it swept the level, right, of liquidity. Yes, it swept the level, but that don't mean nothing. You don't have your confirmation and you don't even know what your risk reward is going to be yet before you even hop in that trade, because you're just taking it just because it hit a certain price level. But nah, you gotta wait for confirmation because it can come down to that level and just die and keep going down further and further and further. Even though the weekly chart is bullish, we still wait for that confirmation on the daily time frame. The next company I have here is Boeing. Boeing, Boeing, Boeing. Now this company's been going through it, and I can say, bro, it hasn't hit all time highs ever since February 2019, and the earnings on it lately been bad. So what is this saying for me? When I look at the earnings and I see it's bad, we haven't hit all-time highs since 2019. This company is a trade. This is a short-term investment. I'm going to get in and I'm going to get out of it. I would not hold Boeing, the company, long term. Looking at the earnings, looking at the everything, it's all it's been going on with its planes. I am good. I would not hold this, and I will not pass this company down to my kids and down to my family members. This will not happen. All right. So looking at the chart, Boeing is a short-term investment. You get in, you get out. You do not hold this for 5 to 10 plus years. If you want to really manage your risk right and hop in the right investment, long-term investment, the correct way, I want to touch this company within that. But a short-term investment in and out, we good. Looking at this weekly chart recently though, we did come down and we moved based off of this buy sign imbalance, sell sign efficiency, and this volume imbalance right here. We came down here, we had this inversion fair value gap right here. So after we had this inversion fair value gap, we push above these swing highs for a market structure shift. That lets me know that this weekly chart's turning bullish, and I ultimately see it going to these relative equal highs right here. But what is the dealing range? We already know that this weekly chart looks bullish for right now. Let's go to the daily chart. This daily chart shows me the dealing range, right? So what's the swing low that we recently got taken out? This one right here, this swing low got taken out, and we created this one down here. What swing high got taken out? We see this swing high got taken out, and then we created this swing high right here. So this is the dealing range, and what is it currently in? It is currently in a premium because it's above the equilibrium. It's above the price of 205.17. So this lets me know that Boeing is in a premium prices, and I don't want to touch it while it's in premium price. I'll wait to come down to a discount and look for an opportunity to trade it. This is the next company's weekly chart, L3 Harris Technologies. Now, this company looks good. You see the earnings down here, like, we just hit all-time highs. This weekly chart is extremely bullish, but is in a premium. Why is it in a premium? Because off the daily chart, we're above the equilibrium. Where do I want to see it come down to? I ultimately want to see it come down to this buy sign imbalance, sell sign efficiency slash volume imbalance right here. And that's the price between 299.83 to 307.15. I would like to see it come down there and look for an opportunity to go long. So how do I know this is the dealing range, right? What is the recent swing low I got taken out? It's right here. No other swing low got taken out looking at price. So the recent one I got taken out is right here. So this is the low that got created under that swing low. That lets me know that's the low of the dealing range. Now, what's the high of the dealing range? The high of the dealing range is going to be shown on a 4-hour chart. Why? Because this on a daily chart, don't let the daily chart fool you. This might seem like it's the real all-time high on daily chart, but no, we have to look at pre-market price action. Looking at pre-market price action, ultimately, this is the all-time high. That 346 even. You see how that 346 is just a clean number right there? That 346 even is all-time highs, and that's the recent swing high, right? So this is the dealing range right here. So I want to see it come under that $309 to look for an entry to go long. This L3 Harris can keep going up and up and up. Why? Because it's literally $20 away from all-time highs. It just hit all-time highs today. I play the patience game. Yes, when a company's in a premium and at all-time highs or an index or ETF, it can keep going up and up and up without retracing to any level. But it's in a premium, so I'm gonna just let it go up and up and up. And if it wanted to move parabolic, it can move parabolic, and it's gonna do that perfectly without me because I know if I want to get into the right risk reward type of trade, because that's all investing is at the end of the day, risk versus reward. I know if I want to get in that type of good trade, I need to buy in a discount. I'm gonna just be patient and wait. It keeps going up and up and up without me, and I have no entry. But when it comes to the point, when it comes to a discount, and I see the opportunity, I take it. Moving on to the next company, Huntington and Gloss Industries. Now looking at a weekly chart, this weekly chart look exquisite. This is what I mean. Like this, when we hit all-time highs, we can just keep going up and up and up. This is parabolic because we see how we boom. This was the recent swing high. We just going up, up, up with no real. We had a low retracement to this volume imbalance, but you see how small this volume imbalance is. Like we had a low retracement, but ultimately we keep going up and up. This company is ultimately bullish on a weekly time frame. I want to see what happens when it comes down to this weekly volume imbalance between this 349.75 to 358.14. Looking at a daily chart on it, what do I look at initially first? I look at the dealing range. Looking at the dealing range, what's the recent swing high I see that got taken out? I see this is the recent swing high on the daily chart that got taken out. So we created this low under it. That's the dealing range low. And what's the recent swing high? I took out this one, and then we created this swing high above it. That is the dealing range high. Now, looking at the dealing range based off the daily chart perspective, we are in a huge, huge, huge premium. Where what I would like to come see based off the dealing range, and I want to buy in a discount, I want to see it come under this 344.86. See if it could come down to any of these levels. We got this daily buy side and balance, sell side and efficiency right here. Want to see what it does work within that and see if I can get an opportunity for an entry. Moving on to the last one, but not least, Palantir Technologies. Now, this is my favorite one on the list. This is my favorite one on the list. Okay, now looking at Palantir, this weekly chart is bearish to me. This weekly chart is definitely bearish. Why? Because we have this inversion of this fair value gap right here. So order flow right now on the weekly chart is telling me it is bearish since we closed below. If we want to be genuinely bullish, we would have closed. We wouldn't have closed below it, and we would have held it and keep going up. So since this happened last week on December 29th, the week of December 29th, we closed below this buy side and balance, sell side and efficiency. That automatically makes me bearish on a weekly time frames perspective. But overall, this is a good company. Earnings good, and it's a powerful move for AI, right? Palantir. Moving on to a daily chart. This daily chart, what is the dealing range? What is the recent swing low that I got took out? This swing low right here, then we created this swing low right below it. What is the recent swing high that I got taken out? This swing high I taken out. So this is the swing high based off of this dealing range. Now, Palantir, yes, it's in a discount, but I'm not looking for no opportunity to enter. Why? Did you see that weekly chart? That weekly chart is bearish. Now, if the weekly chart is bearish, I am not looking to get into calls on any company. I want that weekly chart to be bullish. And since it's not bullish, I'm not going to look into get into any type of calls or saying it's going to go up, right? But if we take out one of these swing lows right here, this 166 is 163, or this ultimately this 147 based off a weekly time frame, I definitely see it coming back up. If we come down, sweep this 147, all of these swing lows right here, but ultimately this 147, then we get a move back up on market structure or inversion fair value gap, bullish, right? That's gonna let me know the weekly chart is back being bullish. But right now I'm bearish on Palantir. This is a good company for what reason? It's gonna help towards the defensive stocks, right? I personally wouldn't hold it long term. This is a trade to me. It hasn't hit all-time highs ever since November 2025 also. So Palantir to me is in a tough situation right now. I definitely see Palantir pulling through, especially if this 1.5 trillion spending happens. That being said, these are my top 8 picks for if this defensive spending going up to 1.5 trillion increases for 2027. Now, I'm not saying it's going to get passed this week, this month, this year, but I'm in position to have the top 8 companies I'm going to look at if it does get passed. Who knows? Nobody knows when it's going to get passed. But if it does, I definitely have a strong case of it getting passed because war. America is a warful country, okay? You see we what they just did with Venezuela and stuff like that, and especially with Trump in the seat, I definitely see it getting passed, but who knows? I could be wrong.